Welcome, everyone, to What to Watch Live, the show where we discuss the best in TV and entertainment this week. My name is David, and today I am joined by my fellow Xfinity editors, Landon, Audrey, and the mistress of the dark herself. It's Scott.
Yay!
That's you.
Hi.
Hello, how is everyone today?
Great.
Dan,
David, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing pretty well. It's a little gloomy outside here in Philadelphia today, but we're going to get through this. A little rain never hurt anybody.
Just
Cool.
help the flowers grow.
On today's show, we have a packed one. We'll explore the best new and returning TV shows and movies coming this fall, revisit some of our favorite and most iconic TV episodes of all time, break down the best new shows of the season with our fall TV formulas, and help you organize your TV watch list for the week ahead. But first, let's kick things off with In the News. Michael Myers is back in the long-awaited 12th installment of the iconic Halloween movie series. The latest sequel, entitled Halloween Kills, will premiere on Peacock October 15th, the same day it premieres in theaters. And Universal has just released the final trailer full of blood, guts, Easter eggs, and Kyle Richards. Let's take a quick look at the trailer.
We killed Michael.
My grandmother set the fire.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Michael Myers is alive.
A man couldn't have survived that fire. "40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers.
Glory, what do we do?
We fight.
Mom,
Our family will kill him.
we're gonna hunt him down and we're gonna put an end to this. He is not gonna stop killing until we stop him.
If you track Michael's victims, that's a straight line to Michael's childhood home.
Someone's in our house.
So that is wild. Thoughts on the movie and the final trailer?
So excited to see Kyle Richards bangs, but also seeing her kind of reprise her role as Lindsay Wallace, the original child, or one of the original children that was being babysat by Laurie Strode and her friend Annie, who sadly met her demise. But yeah, super, super excited about that. It's just nice to see that they're kind of bringing back those old characters. Real talk, though, do we think she's actually going to survive this film?
No.
Heck no. No way.
Oh no, that makes
Kyle's
me
a
so
goner.
It could be like, yeah, it's going to be one of those things that you can it'll cause word of mouth, like Paris Hilton dying in House of Wax. It'll be like, come see Kyle Richards get killed in Halloween Kills.
Can we just have
Just
a
a
moment
hot
there to
second.
talk about Paris Hilton and House of Wax? I know we're talking about Halloween Kills, but we're
Go
going to
for
talk
it.
about Paris and House
Sure.
of Wax and how they did her dirty. Like, they really, they did this whole campaign where they were like, come see Paris die, which not cute, right? But then also I went to go see it in the theaters and people were straight up clapping when Paris died. And that was that's not okay.
Oh.
Just not
No, that's
right.
not nice.
She was kind of at the peak of her villainry in pop culture at the time. Not that makes it right, but people loved to hate Paris back then.
It's true. And she's also a relative of Kyle Richards. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that translates with Halloween Kills and whether or not Kyle will receive a similar, I guess, fate.
Good.
Look
Look at how you tied that
Every day.
together.
Yeah.
Wow.
Audrey,
Look at that.
any thoughts from you on the trailer, Audrey?
Yeah, I think the flashbacks to the original cast members that escaped the clutches of Michael Myers are really fun. I think we're going to see a lot of more flashbacks, which is cool. Again, I'm also excited for Kyle because I, like Scott, am a huge Real Housewives of Beverly Hills fan. And I think it's cool that a lot of people, not that this is all about Kyle Richards, but there's a demo for Real Housewives, right? And it's not necessarily Halloween. So I think some people maybe didn't even know that she was in the original Halloween. So they might get a whole new taste of Kyle and again, see why she had those weird bangs for so long. But yeah, I'm very excited. Maybe this will be the time that, they finally get him. We'll see.
Yeah. And Landon, I know among all of us, you're the biggest Real Housewives fan. So you must be thrilled about Kyle Richards.
Yeah, you hit me right on the head, Dave. Thank you. So thank you for bringing it to me. I have absolutely nothing to add here other than that I'm terrified of horror movies. But I wanted to ask, so that trailer had a lot of fire, like a lot of fire in it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how scary does this trailer look? Because again, as I noted earlier, the last scary movie I watched was in 2005, The Boogeyman, which was just a thrilling act. So I don't know anything about scary movies, so I just need some help here. How scared will I be when I don't watch this?
Are you
I
afraid
think
of
you're gonna be
fire?
pretty scared.
Yeah.
Like
Are you
an
afraid
8
of
out of
William
10 scared?
Shatner?
They show like a surprising amount of kills in this trailer too. Like I think someone took like a light bulb tube to the neck in one of the scenes. It's pretty
Yeah, he
violent.
like smashes a medicine cabinet light and then like uses that as a weapon.
Yeah.
But I will say, like,
Yeah,
I read
just-
an early
just
review.
terrifying.
It is last week, and some of the critics were saying like there are the most brutal kill scenes in any movie they've ever seen in this new Halloween. So if that tells
We
you
just-
how
you know,
scary
we're-
it's going to be.
We're in this world looking for happiness, and now we're just whipping people over
And
the
now
neck
we
with
found
a,
it.
with a
Yeah.
essentially. That's
You
great.
know,
That we're
one
moving
person's
forward.
happiness. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if for any horror aficionados out there, and Scott, I don't know if you caught it, but there's a scene where there's a pile of dead bodies in a playground in here, and they're all wearing the infamous silver shamrock masks from Halloween 3
Yes.
Season of the Witch, which was critically panned in 1982 because it has nothing to do with Michael Myers, but it has become somewhat of a cult favorite to the point where I was like, it's the silver shamrock masks. Oh my God.
I
So-
love that they did that. It's so great.
Yeah.
I mean, the originally Halloween was never intended to be this linear story. It was always sort of meant to be this sort of anthology series about horrible things that happened on Halloween night. So that made sense. But then it sort of took this weird turn where the first two were one thing, and then the third was one, and then it was supposed to be something else again, but they went back to Michael Myers, and it's a whole thing. But yeah, I love that they're bringing back Silver Shamrock because it's sort of become a cult classic, and it's a nice little nod to that film, which in and of itself actually isn't that bad. Don't get me wrong. I think people were just mostly mad about the fact that it wasn't Michael Myers. But yeah. Love.
Well, you can check out the new trailer right now by saying Halloween Kills into your voice remote, and check out the new movie on Peacock October 15th. And, you know, the leaves are changing. Pumpkin spice has invaded our food, and there's yet another NCIS spinoff. It's time for Fall TV. It's September, and you know what that means. Brand new TV shows. But the fall TV season is about so much more than just TV. There's new TV, new movies, new music, and tons of special events, from the Emmys to the iHeartRadio Music Festival to Rihanna's Savage Fenty fashion show. And you can just say Fall TV into your voice remote and explore our fall entertainment guide on both Flex and X1, where we've handpicked the best of the best in entertainment this season and organized them in calendar format through November, complete with premiere dates and networks. But that's not it. Do you want the best of the best right now? We've got you covered with this week's trending shows. Are you wondering what your favorite shows are returning? We've got you covered with a row of shows you've watched and the day they premiere. You can browse personalized show recommendations, returning shows by genre, watch trailers for new shows, explore the year's Emmy winners, or check out the best premieres for streaming networks like Peacock, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, and more. And if you still can't decide what to watch, check out each Xfinity editor's pick of the week, or take a deeper dive into collections like Hispanic Heritage Month, the HBCU Experience, or the NFL Watch Guide. Just say Fall TV into your voice remote and let the binging begin. And in the spirit of this hand-curated collection of the best in fall entertainment, we editors, who are all making faces at me, and you can't see it because it's just me on screen, but they're trying to make me laugh, we thought we would tell you about some of the shows and movies and specials we're excited about this season, starting with me, because I haven't talked enough yet this segment. First off, Succession is back on HBO Max on October 17th. I mean, I'm not sure what else I can say about this incredible show that I haven't already said, or we haven't already said in almost every episode we have. Season 2 ended on somewhat of a cliffhanger where Kendall Roy betrays his father on national TV in one of the greatest TV moments of 2019. Adrian Brody and Alexander Skarsgård joined the cast for Season 3, and it's going to be so good. And then another show that ended on a cliffhanger is Yellowstone, which is back on Paramount on November 7th. The Dutton family was simultaneously targeted with bombs and hitmen in Season 3's explosive finale. And who will survive? I hope it's Beth, and I hope it's Rip, because that would be devastating if they didn't make it. And you can catch up on the first 3 seasons right now on Peacock. It's one of the best shows on TV, so I highly recommend it. Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol is also on Peacock. The series just premiered last week and follows symbologist Robert Langdon as he teams up with the CIA to locate his missing mentor. The character of Robert Langdon was previously played by Tom Hanks in movie adaptations of Dan Brown's books The Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons. And The Lost Symbol follows Langdon early in his career. And finally, I cannot wait for the release of director Denis Villeneuve's science fiction epic Dune on HBO Max. You should have seen me earlier Googling how to pronounce his name correctly. Denis Villeneuve. I still don't know if I did it. HBO Max, October 22nd. Dune is based on the 1965 novel of the same name. This movie features an all-star cast, including Timothée Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Oscar Isaac, Josh Brolin, Zendaya, Javier Bardem, Jason Momoa, and Stellan Skarsgård. It has a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes after premiering at the Venice Film Festival, and I can't wait to see it. It's going to be awesome. Audrey, your picks for the shows that you are looking forward to most this fall.
Yeah, so let's see. That was a tough show to follow, but I'm going to start with Curb Your Enthusiasm because, I mean, all I have to say is Larry David. And that's all you should need to know about this show in order to watch it, because he is just everyone's favorite curmudgeon, and he's back for season 11, bringing all of his, like, you know, hemming and hawing and trash talking and grunting and all of the wonderful things that you could want. So on HBO, Curb Your Enthusiasm, everyone get there. Halloween Kills, we already talked about. It's going to be on Peacock the same day as it's in theaters on October 15th. So we've established that Scott, David, and I are all very excited. Landon is still a little scared, but we're going to get him on board. Legends of the Hidden Temple on CW. I know David is also really excited for this, and I think Scott too. Does Landon know what Legends of the Hidden Temple is?
Oh, come
Yes?
on now. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
Oh, don't
absolutely
act
do.
like it's surprising
Yeah,
that we would
come
ask
on.
you that question.
Are you a purple
Come
parrot
on.
or a silver monkey? I mean, come
Oh,
on. These
total
are important
purple parrot.
Yeah, I'm a purple parrot. That's fair.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, Scott, what were you? Sorry,
Oh,
Audrey.
I mean,
wanna...
No.
I think, it's a tough one because, like, silver monkey probably suits my personality more nowadays, but definitely purple parrot back in the day. So
It was the silver snakes and the green.
oh, sorry, silver snakes, green monkeys. Okay, then
I
silver
was
snakes.
always-
Actually, 100% silver snakes.
Yeah, Silver
Liar.
Snake's way cooler. Way cooler.
I was a green monkey.
Sorry
so-
about it, Audrey.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's
Audrey,
fine.
Audrey, what were you? Red Jaguar?
Oh,
Whoa.
sure. I'll be that. But for those
feel
of you
like-
who don't know what this show is that we're talking about all these weird colors and animals, it was a Nickelodeon show in the 90s, which is why I asked if Landon knew, because Landon just happens to be a little bit younger than the three of us.
Thank
But
you.
it was a staple of a game show in the 90s. And this time they're bringing back adults to the CW to run through this crazy jungle. And the sets look amazing. It has like floor is lava vibes mixed with like the original Legends of the Hidden Temple. So super excited to see how this is going to pan out. And then American Rust is airing on Showtime now. It's a new drama, family drama, told through the eyes of Jeff Daniels, who is the police chief, who, we're not quite sure where this is going yet, but there is, some crime that happens, and it's in the Rust Belt of Pennsylvania. Kind of has like a little bit of like Mayor of Easttown vibes. So I started watching it. I need to watch the most recent episode, but I like where it's going. So that's what I'm into.
Nice. Landon, what are you looking forward to this fall?
Honestly, taking a trip down to the Rust Belt of Pennsylvania. That's what I was looking into. But no, everybody, football is back, and that means I'm watching TV again, guys. That is really all that matters in my life. Football all the time. I'm so sad, honestly. It's happy to be here with you guys, but it's a Tuesday, and that means there's no football tonight. So I wrap up work here and I just go cry for a couple hours till Thursday. But everybody, look, the NFL is here again, and let me tell you, the most important part of the NFL season is the schedule, and I really think that man Goodell, he figured it out. I mean, the opener, Bucks Cowboys, Monday's Ravens Raiders, Sunday's Chiefs Ravens. What fun games! I mean, you've got potential game of the year games to start the season, and this Monday, I know there's David's going to be ready for this one. Eagles Cowboys. We got birds. We got birds and the boys this Monday. Let's get ready for it.
Classic rivalry.
Sports.
So if the schedule stays like this,
Sports.
Sports. See, I got as much as I love horror, you guys love sports. So this is fantastic. Well, look, if the schedule stays like this, don't wake me up when September ends Green Day. I'm just gonna give myself a little laugh there. I'm gonna pen that one on me, and I want it to be September forever. Come on.
So good.
But
I'll give it to you. You can have it.
Thank you, David. Thank you. But the cool thing is you can utilize your voice remote.
Oh no, we lost Landon.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
No.
There he is.
Am I here?
He's
You're
sort of
good.
You're good.
Am I
You
good?
just froze for a second. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, go
Wait,
for it.
who's more back, me or the NFL? Because you can do it all with your voice remote, gang. Say NFL into your voice remote, and you can find stats and standings, highlights, live games, whatever you want. Maybe the NFL's not for you. You can say college football. I mean, this past weekend we had Penn State Auburn. What a thriller in prime time. We've got Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night football. And if you're like me, the second Thursday kicks in, my brain turns into fantasy mode. And boy, do I have a deal for you. I really wish we could have had some lighting in the background. I go into an infomercial, but it didn't happen. But for real, just say fantasy football on your remote, and you can get tips and tricks. You can find your waiver wire ads, and really, on a Sunday, I don't know what all of you guys do, but I sit around with the nicest cheeses, the nicest charcuterie, the nicest wings, some beer, and Scott Hansen for 7.5 hours of uninterrupted, commercial-free NFL. And if NFL's not your grab, we've got the Ryder Cup as well. We've got some fun storylines. We've got Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth back. We've got life haters, Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka. They're battling out. Rumor has it they went to dinner last night. They're ready to stop murking each other on TV. And by far, we're waiting an extra year for this Ryder Cup. It's every 2 years. So it's been 3 years. You should be 1.5 times more excited for the Ryder Cup. Listen how excited Scott is, everybody. Scott is ready for the Ryder Cup.
I'm so confused right now. I have no idea what's going on, but I'm excited.
Well, Scott, you know what? We're heading to Sheboygan, Wisconsin for the Ryder Cup. And that's, you know what? NBC, Peacock, Golf Channel. Just get ready, everybody, because sports, it's fall, and fall means sports. So,
Landon, why would you waste stomach space on the worst snack of all time, Cheez-Its?
Bite your tongue, my friend.
Because I love my life.
The driest,
words over
most
here.
boring cracker ever
No.
created. Yeah.
Negative.
So
Disagree.
you're a goldfish over cheese. Are you a cheese nip guy? Are you a cheese
Oh,
nip
no.
guy? or a
No,
cheese
no,
nip
no,
guy?
no, no.
No
Oh,
fish.
no.
Do you like
no
whales?
No
You
version of that cracker in any shape. It's dry and boring. Unless
It's a
it's
little
the one
Tabasco,
that's
Speak for yourself.
Oh,
Flavor
don't say
dusted.
flavor dust. No.
Yes. Flavor dusted,
No. Okay,
wavy.
here we
I'll
go.
eat that.
No.
Okay.
No.
Wait, real
Okay.
debate,
Extra
though. Let's-
toasty Cheez-Its. Extra toasty.
No, Audrey, shh.
Yes.
No extra toasty. Yeah.
Yes.
Going
Oh,
on the
I
wrong
love
path,
I love
Audrey.
everything
Turn around.
burned.
Turn around,
yum,
Audrey.
Burn flavor. Oh my
I do
gosh.
like burn flavor.
But hold on, let me pose. If we're gonna stop on Cheez-Its, we're gonna stop for this one last debate: bagel bites
Yeah.
or pizza rolls, because
Oh
they're
my
also
God,
a
bagel bite.
major
Oh,
state.
Lord.
No, it's
Bagel
definitely
bite.
microwave,
100%.
lava hot, burn my mouth pizza rolls.
Either one is
No.
going to burn the roof of your
Microwave?
mouth.
Yeah.
Um,
Scott, we're all about
I'm,
time here. I can't miss 7.5 hours of commercial-free NFL football on a Sunday afternoon.
Plan ahead, Landon. Be
Yeah.
better. Come on.
Yeah. Moving
can't.
on to finish this segment out. I know I derailed us.
Yeah.
Scott, your favorite shows of this coming fall?
Absolutely. But before we get into that, Scott Hansen, Landon, that's the younger Hansen brother, right?
He's
No.
one of a bunch of Hansons. Yes. Yeah, he was
No.
he was bopping his way to the NFL Network. Yes, that's correct.
I knew it.
Oh
I
my
knew
God.
it.
Of course, you had a line for that.
Unsurprisingly, I am super, super excited about all of the horror that is coming to fall TV this year, particularly their revivals. We've got Dexter coming back. We've got Chucky coming back. We've got I Know What You Did Last Summer coming back. Just so many wonderful, wonderful things. First up, let's talk about Dexter New Blood. This series is going to be picking up basically as if time had just passed. And this is, just putting the cameras back on Dexter after all of these, almost a decade now since the Dexter series finale, to not so great reviews. I think people were pretty upset with the way that it ended. Nobody wanted to see him just turn into a lumberjack and just be like, bye, whatever. So we're going to see what happened there. And I'm super excited about it. I just sat down with Michael C. Hall not too long ago, and that will be coming out very shortly. So I'm excited to see what this series has to offer. They've been very, very tight-lipped about where it's going. What we do know is that Deb is going to be his new voice of reason within his head. So we'll get to see her again, which is very, very exciting. So definitely make sure you check that out on Showtime, November 7th. That premieres. Chucky, which is premiering simultaneously on USA and Sci-Fi, will be coming around October 12th. So right in the middle of spoopy season. Excited about this one. I don't actually know too much about this series. From what I can tell from the trailers, it looks like the child is sort of complicit in the killings that Chucky is doing, which, whatever, do what you got to do, I guess. But I guess at some point, Chucky turns on this child and things start to turn sour in their relationship. So really, it's like a When Harry Met Sally plus a murderous doll type situation. So something to look forward to. One other series that I'm looking forward to is Killer Camp, which is something that I know me and David both enjoyed the first time around. So that premieres on CW October 10th. It's basically a reality show where people are tricked into going to a camp, only to find out that one of them there is a serial killer, and they get sort of voted off contestant style or like a competition style, only to be murdered off in these really ridiculous vignettes. Essentially, they were pretty intense the first time around. It was actually ported over from the UK, and some of it sort of got blurred out or cut for the US. So I'm excited to see what they do with the second season, just because obviously some of the twists and turns that happened in the first season will have already been pretty clear to anybody walking into this situation. So excited about that one. Any thoughts on that, David, since I know you were a fan before?
I was, and I'll just echo the sentiment that I was really disappointed that the really cool killings that they had were censored for the US version, because they were really cool in the British version. But it's a really cool twist on a reality competition to bring a real life horror movie to a camp and act it out. It was really clever, I thought, and well done.
Very interesting. And how horrible was that ending? Like that poor person who was essentially the killer and screwing all of these people over, and was literally the worst person ever. It was just wonderful. Really, really good. Great television. Yeah. Highly recommend if you like really snarky, confusing reality television shows. And then my final pick is I Know What You Did Last Summer, which premieres on Prime Video October 15th. They're actually dropping 4 episodes at launch, and then they're going to do weekly premieres after that. I actually watched the premiere of this the other day. I'm not at liberty to say my thoughts on it, but let's just say it was a fun show, and I'm excited to see the rest of it. So let's go there. It definitely echoes the sort of sentiment and feeling of the original series, which they've said as much, or the creators have said as much. I think that's really, really cool. So you'll get to see a sort of a reimagining of the I Know What You Did Last Summer story, but set in Hawaii with a bunch of really young students. So keep an eye out for that one.
Awesome. Well, you can explore these shows and more by saying Fall TV or Fall Entertainment Guide into your remote. And are you craving even more TV recommendations? Well, you're in luck because it's time for Editor's Picks. If you've learned anything about us on What to Watch Live, you know that I love pro wrestling, Scott loves horror movies, Landon loves Guy Fieri, and Audrey loves impeccably decorated Victorian homes. And pretty much all of us love the FX series What We Do in the Shadows. And on last week's episode of Shadows, Nandor, Nadja, Laszlo, and Colin Robinson accompanied their next-door neighbors Sean and Charmaine on a rare vampire getaway to the Mecca of the Depraved, America's premier nocturnal playground of hedonistic debauchery, Sin City, US of A, Atlantic City. Let's take a quick clip, or look at a clip of that.
Some call our destination a Mecca of the Depraved.
America's premier nocturnal playground.
Sin City, US of A, baby!
Viva Atlantic City!
Our minds are turning into a thick, lumpy soup.
Roll the dice, spin that wheel.
It's the first time, this episode is the first time we see all four vampires and Guillermo spend an extended amount of time together, riffing off each other among the humans outside of Staten Island. Nadja thinks the Rat Pack tribute band is the real Rat Pack. Nandor becomes obsessed with the Big Bang Theory slot machine. Colin Robinson drains the energy of gamblers at the poker table. And Laszlo helps settle his friend Sean's gambling debt by rigging a boxing match. And there you have it. Some of our other favorite single episodes or moments in any show ever. And I posed the question to the editors, and we're going to kick things off with Audrey. What is your pick for maybe the best episode of a single show?
Yeah, so mine is the series finale, actually, of 6 Feet Under from HBO, which I realize this show is a lot of death we're talking about here. But as the name would suggest, 6 Feet Under is about a family who own a funeral parlor and live in it. And it was amazing. It was like such a huge hit for HBO when it was on. And the series finale, again, as you can imagine, was about death, but it showed how all of the family members died. And it was set to like Sia's Breathe, and it was just done so well. It's still like hailed as one of the best, episodes in TV ever. So let's take a clip and then we can talk more.
Ouch, I have lost myself.
So that was a lot. And it looks like a downer, but it really wasn't. It was so beautiful. And I don't know if all of you have watched the series. It really wrapped everything up in like the perfect way ever. And it's still, like I said, it's on list still as like the best finale or the best episode of TV. The series won like so many awards. It won 9 Emmys, 3 Screen Actors Guild Awards, 3 Golden Globes, and a Peabody. It was just such an amazing show that I feel like I forget about sometimes, and I forget how much I loved it. But it was awesome. And then it led me on a tangent because Alan Ball created this show. And I was wondering, like, was Alan Ball like the 2000s Ryan Murphy? Because he did True Blood and he did this. And then, I don't know, these are just the notes I take while I'm preparing for this show. So, it's kind of a rhetorical question. But I love Alan Ball because I also love True Blood.
Most of Alan Ball's shows were good past 2 seasons, so I wouldn't call him the Ryan Murphy of the 2000s.
Snap!
Dagger! Wow. David.
I mean,
You're gonna have
am
a
I
Ryan
wrong?
Murphy assassin on your doorstep.
Am I wrong?
Well, Scott and I were just talking about how amazing this current season of American Horror Story double feature is. And I don't think you're watching that right now, and you need to be because it's very interesting. Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
okay.
I just can't get into the horror story. It's not what I want. I try every single season. It's just not what I'm looking for. I want more scary. I want a little more horror. It's just me. I don't know.
I mean, this is pretty scary this time around, and it's violent, and there's this creepy child, and it's just really well acted all the way around too. Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe I'll give it another go.
Give it a
Landon, your single greatest episode of a series ever?
I'm starting to wonder if you guys solely invited me today to not talk about murder, horror, scary, creep. We just added creepy children to the repertoire today.
She is creepy.
But my favorite episode of TV history is without a doubt, Parks and Rec, Two Parties. So let's roll that clip.
Here's your Bud Light.
I ordered a beer.
That is a beer. And here's your Nimbus Martini. Who ordered the scotch?
Right here.
Hold out your hands, please.
What's happening?
Oh, this is a sort of play on scotch. It's a whiskey-infused lotion.
Can I ask if this entire establishment is a practical joke of some kind?
Oh, I wonder who that is. Well, if it isn't Babe Lincoln, imagine that.
Hello, ladies. I'm Abraham Lincoln. Who's the lucky Mary Todd?
Right here. Right here.
Me first. Tear it up, 16. Emancipate the man.
So now I may be biased. Parks and Rec was by far my favorite show, but to make that episode, you've got to have Jeremy Jam just causing problems. You've got to have Leslie truly making problems. You've got to have Ron eating all the steaks and drinking all of his Lagavulin. You've got to have Andy being a goofball. You got to have okay, I will bring a little negativity. You got to have April just in the episode somewhere being sassy and sad, and you just got to have fun. I mean, that episode is truly unbelievable. You've got a bachelor and a bachelorette party. But I want to stop there because I want to ask you all if you were to have 2 hours of your bachelor or bachelorette party and you got to do whatever you wanted, how would you have your 2 hour bachelor or bachelorette party? Because I know what I'm doing. You get 1 hour at a bar, you have as many beers as you can, and then you're going to a Chinese buffet and you're just going to run the show at the Chinese buffet. You're going to eat as much as you can. And that's just how I would spend my time. You got I don't know. That's it.
You had me at beer. You lost me at buffet.
That should be like a new above the door. You had me at beer, but lost me at buffet.
Yeah.
Mine would definitely involve food as well. It'd be some sort of all-you-can-eat sushi. It depends. Is the bachelor party happening well before the wedding, or is it a situation where the wedding's the next day? Because I don't want to risk seafood poisoning the day before.
That should never be the case. That's just stupid.
Is it a
Does that only happen in movies? I guess that only happens in movies, does it? Yeah.
I think you're just thinking about The Hangover right now. I think that's what's going through your head right now.
100%.
Audrey?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you
I would
lost
like
you
a
at buffet,
psychic...
so where are you going?
Okay. I would like to do a psychic reading or tea leaves. And then, to talk about the future of my marriage, and then alcohol.
Boy, I wish I had done that.
Some sort of delicious cocktail situation, maybe a mixology class, to learn how to make delicious cocktails, and then food too.
Hosted by Scott.
I don't know.
Hosted by Scott.
Yeah.
I'm available. Hello.
I don't know, Landon. I really would have liked some advance notice to this very specific
That's
question.
What I wanted it to
just
be on the spot. You gotta have something ready to go. 2 hours.
Scott will have a good answer.
Will I? That's a bold assumption. Okay. Gonna go with the tried and true here, because I didn't actually do a bachelor party or any of that nonsense. Let's just assume that we're gonna have a destination wedding, and I would charter Captain Sandy's yacht for 2 hours, and that's it. That's all I would need to do, because it's guaranteed good food and as many drinks as you can get in during that time, and water toys. Come on, what else do you need for 2 hours?
Water toys
That's
for the win. You're right, Scott.
Good answer.
Right.
Scott, what is your greatest episode of a series ever?
I feel like you already know where I'm going with this. So mine is one of the final moments from season 5 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, in episode 22, which is titled The Gift. Major spoiler alert, Buffy essentially sacrifices herself to save the entire world. Roll the clip.
Buffy, you have to let me go. Blood starts it, and until the blood stops flowing, it'll never stop.
Summer's blood. It's just like mine. She's me. The monks made her out of me.
No.
Donnie, I have to.
No!
Must have been it.
So, super intense moment. Still gives me the feels, to this day. But basically, throughout the season, Buffy is told by the first ever Slayer that death is your gift. And talk about a sucky gift. If death is your gift, life is going to be pretty crap, right? But for all intents and purposes, this was actually meant to be the series finale of Buffy. This is when WB canceled the series, and Joss Whedon was basically wrapping up all of the loose ends. So everything was sort of coming to an end. Buffy was transitioning from a teenager into this sort of adulthood. Her watcher was transitioning to sort of being her caretaker. There's just a lot of things happening around her with her, the side characters as well. But then the show got picked up by UPN. Do you remember those networks of WB and UPN? God,
I do.
The WB, right? Yeah.
I want that as my
Frog in
ringtone.
a top hat.
But yeah, so it was really, really interesting because then the showrunners and the writers had to kind of deal with this, obviously, Buffy being dead, but then being brought back to life, and how the show took a very, very dark turn for the next 2 seasons that it ran. And essentially, her friends thought that she was in hell. They did a spell to bring her back. Turns out she was in heaven. And then she was just really distraught and depressed about all of that happening. But one of my favorite parts of this episode is, Buffy is basically talking to her sister, who is essentially a key at this point and not actually her real sister. She's just a being of light or whatever. She talks about how she's going to throw herself into this so that her sister doesn't have to die. And she says, the hardest thing in this world is to live in it. And it's just a really interesting quote that I think people who watch the show use to kind of deal with depression and all of this stuff. So it's just a really interesting note to leave on. And I just love this series so much. And I think it did a lot for the show. It's arguably one of the better seasons, I think. And so it was a great way to wrap it up. It's just an excellent hour of television. If you haven't watched it already, I highly recommend you do.
And you can check out all of the shows we've talked about here by saying what to watch into your voice remote. And now let's take a trip to the laboratory, to cook up some fall TV formulas in a segment we call, If You Like, Then. When you describe a new TV show to someone, how do you do it? You say, oh, Godfather of Harlem is sort of like Sopranos meets American Gangster, or The Masked Singer is like Sesame Street meets The Voice. And that's exactly how we describe some of this fall's new TV shows in a collection called Fall TV Formulas. And today I decided to put my fellow editors to the test by seeing if they can guess the new fall TV show based on 2 similar TV shows. Does that all make sense to everyone?
Yes, but I'm terrified.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Gonna be fine. And for those of you watching on X1 and Flex, you can play along using your voice remote. Remember that you can vote once or as many times as you'd like, and your vote is counted when your selection changes colors. Just use the little arrow keys there. First up, let's take a look at our first fall TV formula. It is This Is Us plus Quantum Leap equals what? Is it Why The Last Man, Ordinary Joe, Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol, or Scenes from a Marriage? Talk it out amongst each other, and you can all vote right now on your screen.
I know. I totally know
Ordinary
this
Joe.
one. Obviously, Ordinary Joe.
Obvious.
I think.
Man, I'm just
It
thinking about how much I
definitely
love
is.
This Is Us. Oh, I love This Is Us. So
Well,
much.
Landon, if you like This Is Us, you're gonna love Ordinary Joe because
Oh, see, look.
it's it's an NBC heartfelt drama about a guy who, one decision can change the path in your life, and it can lead you down 3 different paths. So we see, did he go to dinner with his parents, or did he go to the beach house with his best friend, or did he go on a new date with this girl that he just met? And depending on what he did in those 3 scenarios, his life is completely different.
What would Joe
somehow
do?
you're not convincing people, because the leader is Scenes from a Marriage. Now it's Why the Last Man, even though clearly
they're all wrong.
exactly what Ordinary Joe
wrong.
is.
Well, everybody wants to know why the Quantum Leap guy is the second part of the formula. So they want to know why he's the last man in the formula. That's clearly the
It's really tough because he lived multiple lives. He leapt into new lives. So it's kind of like a parallel universe situation. It was tough. It's a little bit of a mind bender, but I think if you like these 2 shows, you'll like Ordinary Joe, which is of course the correct answer for this quiz.
Ding, 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 ding,
We did it.
You did it. You were
Oh my
correct.
God, I'm so proud.
Wait, that was the losing sound. I don't know the winning
Little
sound.
Ryder Cup clap here.
Yes.
All right. Moving on to our next formula. The next formula is the movie Funny Farm, starring Chevy Chase, one of my personal favorites. Excuse me. And The Sixth Sense. Is the answer Chucky, I Know What You Did Last Summer, Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol, or Ghosts?
Wow.
I'm going to go with Ghosts.
Yeah, that was
on this one.
That was my guess too. All right, I'm Team Scott.
Woo! Who is it?
Sure,
Honestly?
I'll jump on that bandwagon.
That's 3 for
I mean,
Ghosts.
everyone is the crowd is guessing I Know What You Did Last Summer. Scott, does this formula add up to I Know What You Did Last Summer?
I mean, Funny Farm. It's not really funny, I guess. It's not a kooky cast of characters, I guess, so to speak. Yeah, and I mean, Sixth Sense is definitely leading me. It is Sixth Sense, right? I'm just trying to go off of this QR that I can't see from all the way back here. It's definitely giving me Ghost vibes, so I would say that is probably more likely the case, because that is a comedic look at extra, what do you call them? Super ghost things,
Super ghost things.
Thank you.
I've never seen Funny Farm. What is Funny Farm about? Can you give me a 1-sentence synopsis?
Yeah,
it's like
one sentence.
loony bin.
One sentence. One.
A loony bin.
2. I can
Chevy
give you
Chase
2 words. 2 words.
Go.
Chevy Chase and his wife move into a country home so that he can focus on writing his great novel. And they move into this house, and it's a complete disaster from day one when they move in, and things fall apart. It's like the Money Pit a little bit.
Yeah.
Now we're doing Funny Farm. Funny Farm is the Money Pit meets.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a run-on sentence.
So I Know What You Did Last Summer is still leading with 57% Chucky, and then Ghosts. And the correct answer is, drumroll, Ghosts on CBS.
I want to know who voted for Chucky.
Yeah.
I guess there's a creepy child in Sixth Sense. I mean, I
So,
can see it.
Ghosts is on CBS, premieres October 7th. It's about a young couple who inherits an old country home that is inhabited by a ragtag group of ghosts who aim to make their lives miserable. As I was reading over this, I realized I should have done Beetlejuice, which is probably another accurate formula piece as well.
I like the deep cut, David.
We're just getting better at math. That's all.
Our next formula here is The Last Man on Earth plus The Walking Dead equals Nuclear Family, Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol, Why the Last Man, or Dune.
Do?
And guess. Dune.
Dune.
Oh, Dune. It's like do.
I thought you said do too.
Do.
No.
This is like when you take the SATs and Dan Brown just keeps showing up. And
you're like, it's got to be Dan Brown.
One of these has to be Dan Brown. I'm going Dan Brown here.
I say why the last man.
I'm going with Audrey on this one. Very much like last person on Earth type situation, apocalyptic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why the last man? The last cisgender man on Earth.
The proof is in the title. The answer is Why the Last Man, which is now available on Hulu. It takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where every mammal with a Y chromosome dies, except for one man and his pet monkey, because, of course, like, how cool. It's based on a comic book series, and yeah, that's Why the Last Man. Our next formula, Girls 5 Eva plus Empire equals, is it Queens, BMF, Our Kind of People, or The Big Leap?
Queens.
Leaning towards
I don't know why I said it like that, but it's.
All right, Oprah.
That was a very Oprah moment. I don't know why that happened.
Queens.
You get a queen. You get a queen.
You know what though?
People
Honestly, I do wish it was
Audrey.
BMF. I'm gonna say it's not BMF, but I am really excited for BMF. Like really excited for BMF.
What does BMF stand for?
Black Mafia Family.
Mafia Family.
Yeah,
correct.
And it is.
I went into a totally
thriller.
different direction with that. Just throwing that out there.
As much wood.
I know where you went.
And
Landon, I thought you'd maybe want to write in Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol for this one.
Well, I was waiting for it, but I failed the SATs in the third round, so I didn't get to answer the fourth.
Okay.
So the correct answer for this one is, in fact, Queens. Premiering October 19th, Queens follows 4 former hip-hop superstars as they reunite in their 40s to try and reclaim their former glory. So basically, it is Girls 5 Eva.
But with Brandy and
Eve? Yeah.
Yes, a Philly legend.
Yeah. Love Eve.
Yeah.
And Brandy.
And let's round things out with our final formula. It is Mayor of Easttown plus The Affair equals Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol, American Rust, La Brea, or FBI International. I feel like we already got a spoiler.
Yeah, because this is why I started watching The Answer Show, because I love both of these shows. So I figured, hey, David is telling me I'm going to love this next show.
It has to be American Rust, right? Because you already said earlier that American Rust was similar to Mayor of Easttown. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that one out there because you like buried the lead there.
Oh,
that's
the
what
old Pennsylvania Rust Belt.
You want to go with Dan Brown's The Lost Symbol, Landon?
I do. I really do. Yes.
American Rust is leading in the votes with 44%. And indeed, the answer is American Rust, which Audrey already gave us a little bit of a sneak preview of. It's now airing on Showtime. It follows a small-town Pennsylvania police chief as he investigates a crime allegedly committed by his lover's son. And I know, scandalous. And you can check out more of the Fall TV formulas by saying Fall TV formulas into your remote or Fall TV to explore the full experience. And before we go, as always, it's time to highlight your mental TV guide with a segment called Plan Ahead. This week is an embarrassment of new TV riches, so we decided to focus solely on premieres, and Landon is here to tell us all about this week's new dramas. Landon?
Fox welcomes you to the world of Rich and Dangerous because they're trotting out a new series titled Our Kind of People, featuring 2 of my absolute favorites, Yaya DaCosta and Morris Chestnut. Set in Oak Bluff, Massachusetts, DaCosta plays a single mother setting out to reclaim her family's name, only to discover a secret regarding her mother's past that will turn her world upside down. Now, If you know TV, you know Dick Wolf doesn't sign his name on just any dotted line, and this upcoming series, FBI International, doesn't seem like it'll be an exception. The third iteration of the FBI franchise will follow the Fly Team, trekking the world with one mission: neutralizing threats to the American citizens. Except there's only one twist: no guns. Quick thinking, intelligence, and pure brawn are what these team members rely on. So if your brain is up to the test, check out FBI International on CBS. Now, I know David had himself a little chuckle when he threw me one Chicago, because my wife and I don't miss one Wednesday with the Med Gang. But oh baby, it's back. That's right, it's Med, it's Fire, it's PD, and it's all back to back to back, starting September 22nd on NBC. So gear up for all your taxpayer services under one roof, tangled into a nice web of drama, relationships, life-saving, and deceit. Ooh, do I love me a good old true story brought to life. And stars? Their upcoming series, BMF, an acronym for Black Mafia Family, is just that. Flannery Brothers, Big Meech, and Southwest T rose to fame in the Detroit streets as one of the most influential crime families in the U.S., owning the drug trade and breaking onto the hip-hop scene, promoting the likes of artists such as Young Jeezy and Fabulous. And if that doesn't sound dramatic enough, actor Lil Meech is playing the role of his father in the series, alongside Snoop Dogg as a pastor, and Eminem as famed informant White Boy Rick, and much more. So get ready, because it all begins on Starz, September 26th. And years upon years upon years upon years, those pesky zombies tortured Rick, Coral, and the gang of misfit apocalyptic hunters. And sadly, 10 years in the future, the undead are still causing problems. Yes, the limited spin-off, The Walking Dead, World Beyond, premiered in 2020, but it has new life. Season 2 opens on AMC October 3rd. And for those of you with AMC Plus, enjoy a special early premiere on September 26th. Now, where's Rose with her survival gear just when I need her?
And if that's all a little too heavy for you, Scott's got the 411 on this week's biggest comedy premieres. Take it away, Scott.
Volume 4, Netflix's powerful dramedy series. Sorry guys, I tried to do the cool announcer voice that Landon did. I really did. Anyways, as I was saying, Volume 4 of Netflix's powerful dramedy series, Dear White People, drops on September 22nd. In Volumes 1 through 3, the show gave us a glimpse into the lives of students of color as they navigate the daily slights and slippery politics at an Ivy League college that's not nearly as post-racial as it thinks it is. Volume 4 will still be centered on identity politics, race issues, class, and sexuality, but will also be the show's last dance, so to speak, as the final season is set to be a musical one. More than 30 years after the original first aired, The Wonder Years returns to TV with a reimagined but not entirely unfamiliar reboot. Like the original, the new series is set in the late 60s, however this reimagining revolves around an entirely different family, the Williamses, a black middle-class household in Montgomery, Alabama. Don Cheadle lends his so smooth you can't believe it's not butter voice as the narrator, an older and wiser version of the show's 12-year-old protagonist. I hope to be able to narrate a show about my teenage years one day. It'll likely be a whole lot of me just saying, spoiler alert, turns out I didn't actually like her, I just liked her outfit. That'll make good TV, right? Anyways, check out the premiere of Wonder Years on ABC September 22nd. Also on September 22nd, ABC's hit sitcom The Goldbergs returns for a 9th season. For those unfamiliar, the comedy chronicles creator Adam F. Goldberg's chaotic but loving family as he grows up in the Reagan era. The series suffered a huge loss with the passing of George Segal, its Oscar-nominated co-star, before the end of Season 8. Segal was a series regular playing Albert Pop Solomon, a laid-back widower grandfather and World War II veteran. Season 9 is set to open with a tribute to the late actor and his character, both of which will no doubt be sorely missed. On Thursday, September 23rd, Peacock's British police procedural comedy drama television series, blimey, that's a mouthful, isn't it? Returns for a 2nd season. This time around, we'll see the return of Daniel May's AI-enhanced detective and his partner, D.I. Carver. D.I., of course, being short for Detective Inspector. I Could have sworn both detective and inspector were sort of the same thing, but what do I know? Clearly, I am not a DI. Anyways, if you are a fan of near-future British buddy cop comedies, be sure to check this one out. Sunday, September 26th, Fox kicks off its animation domination block with The Simpsons and a first-ever all-musical event. They've pulled out the big guns with this one and brought in Kristen Bell to sing as the voice of Marge, which honestly feels like a miscast, if you ask me. The lady who did the voice for Ursula sort of feels more appropriate, but it's your fantasy world, Fox. We're just living in it. The musical event will be followed up by new seasons of The Great North, Bob's Burgers, and Family Guy, so strap in for a solid block of laughy fun good times.
And if you're jonesing for a dose of reality, Audrey has everything you need to know about the best new reality TV series this week. Audrey?
If you were a fan of the first season of Love on the Spectrum, which you should be because it was amazing, you'll recognize some familiar faces in the trailer for season 2. You'll also see some brand new ones who are searching for love. This series is unlike any other take on TV dating. It offers such a unique and heartwarming glimpse into the romantic lives of young adults on the autism spectrum. It's a must-watch. Season 6 of The Masked Singer returns with a 2-night premiere, because there are just way too many outrageous costumes for a single night. From a banana split to a beach ball, it's sure to be a roller coaster ride of sights and sounds. The season premiere of The Masked Singer airs Wednesday, September 22nd on Fox. Immediately after The Masked Singer, you'll want to stick around for this futuristic take on a traditional singing competition where contestants will be given the choice to show everyone how they've always wanted to be seen. They're creating their own avatars and reinventing themselves to perform like never before. The series premiere of Alter Ego airs Wednesday, September 22nd on Fox. The tribe has spoken. The wait is over. When Survivor returns, it will have been off the air for a whopping 497 days. Jeff Probst has teased the long-awaited new season by saying it's a brand new game, fast-paced, dangerous, very difficult to win, and absolutely entertaining to watch. The fans are going to love it. The season premiere of Survivor airs Wednesday, September 22nd on CBS. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune takes a new spin, get it, on the iconic game show Wheel of Fortune, hosted by TV legends Pat Sajak and Vanna White. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune challenges celebrities to solve word puzzles for a chance to win up to $1 million and then give it all away to the charity of their choice. The season premiere of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune airs Sunday, September 26th on ABC.
And that will do it for this week's episode. I'd like to thank my fellow Xfinity editors, Audrey, Landon, and Scott for joining me today. And Scott, you're headed straight from here to interview Elvira, right?
Correct. The Mistress of the Dark. The sassy lassie with the classy chassis.
So something to look forward to for the Halloween season ahead. If you want to check out the TV shows and movies we talked about today, get more of our entertainment recommendations, or watch us interview big celebrities, just say what to watch into your voice remote, or tune in here every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern for a new episode. My name is David, and thank you for joining us on What to Watch Live.